Alright, so we are taking a look at Alan Wake 2. That comes out, this game also comes out next month. This comes out a week after Spider-Man 2 comes out. And this is the sequel to I believe, the 2010 is when the first game came out. And I still haven't played Alan Wake. I have it on my my laptop, but I haven't played it. But from what I remember, what I recall, the first game was more of a typical shooter, and this one is just a straight survival horror game. So this is a radically different game compared to the first one.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought the first one was a survival horror too. I never played it as well, but I heard the hype.
Well, it was a horror game, but I'm saying the gameplay was more like just a straight third-person shooter. So this has a very different like gameplay style and theme and presentation compared to the first one, and it has a new playable character. So let's take a look. This is from IGN's first coverage. I see Remedy still doing the giant words on the screen, like it's a TV show. It's an interesting presentation there.
IGN first for September is Remedy's long-awaited Alan Wake 2. To kick things off, we've got 11 minutes of brand new gameplay from an early mission played from the perspective of FBI agent Saga Anderson. You'll see a mixture of combat, puzzles, and detective work, as well as plenty of the series.
How do you feel about that name?
It doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you.
It seems like a strange name, though. Saga? I guess it's better than what they could have called her.
Signature unsettling atmosphere. Sit back and enjoy.
Hey, I'm looking for Ilmo Koskela, owner of the trailer park.
Then you're in luck. Introducing the brothers who need no introduction, the Koskelas. Ilmo voted Businessman of the Year by the Bright Falls Herald, and Jaakko, a stay-at-home dad.
I'm proud of that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This looks very slow. Looks like there's some dialogue heavy sequences in the very beginning. That's going to turn some people off by default because they're going for like a more cinematic approach with the forced walking and having to talk to NPCs and whatnot. Again, there's an audience for that, but it is going to deter others. I'm not sure, what you have to say about that, but.
Yeah, honestly, with the dialogue too, I kind of prefer a bit of close-ups, kind of like in sections like this too. I don't know, it seems a little, I don't know if cheap's the right word.
I'm not sure what the right word is, honestly. I think I know what you mean, though.
I miss that Anderson sense of humor. It's great to see you again, Saga.
Yeah, super nice to see you again, Saga.
They act like they've known me for years. This keeps happening. You own the trailer park, right?
So is that what you're talking about? Dialogue options?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't know. It seems kind of strange to me, a little off.
Well, it looks like they gave you what you wanted.
Mind if I take a look
inside?
No,
that's not what I mean. I mean, it just looks strange. Like, I kind of I feel more in touch with the game if they had like close-up shots and stuff.
Oh.
Kind of like, what Baldur's Gate was doing with dialogue sequences.
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the perspective, the camera angles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, though, this is a survival horror game, and survival horror games typically don't have, unique camera angles like that. You mainly see things like that in RPG games, and you don't want to give off the impression that the player is playing an RPG, because this isn't an RPG; it's a survival horror game. So you're talking about two different genres.
Would it make a big deal with that though? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure, but you know, it's all about perspective on the player's part, because you know it is their goal to try and get people to, you know, buy the game. And I can tell you from reading the comments online that not everyone looks at every fucking trailer. There are some people that were posting comments about this that made no fucking sense at all. And I'm gonna talk about that coming up here shortly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the owner of the Watery Lighthouse Trailer Park, me, can help you with that. It's good to have our funniest resident back.
Resident? I don't understand what you mean.
If this is your way of getting out of any outstanding bills, don't worry, they've been handled.
Must be hard coming back to where you and your little girl lived.
It's like they remember a different reality. Is the horror story messing with their memories?
Okay, so this little room right here, this isn't an actual office, as it was explained in one of these videos. What this is, it's like a mental space in her mind where she has set up her own investigative office. And then you have to gather clues and whatnot to progress in the game for certain missions. I think they have like optional missions in the game. You have to gather evidence, like an actual like investigator, because that's what her occupation is. She's like an FBI investigator. Then you gather clues, and then you can come back here and like post them on the wall. But you're supposed to like connect them together to form a full picture. So you actually have to like read the evidence and whatnot in order to get it right. Well, what do you think about that mechanic?
I think it's a pretty cool idea. I think I've heard a similar game do that before too. I can't remember the name though.
They've had other games do that. I think one of them was that murdered game Soul Suspect. What was that one of them?
I've heard of that one before. I didn't know they did that too.
Oh well, I'm not sure if they did it myself because I haven't played it, but yeah, they've had other games do something similar in the past. This is the point. But IGN, the person from IGN, when they went to Remedy's offices to play this, or to, you know, to see what, you know, more footage of this game, they said that the investigative part, that whole mechanic, that it was underdeveloped. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, but you know, that's what they said.
Ilmo made it sound like I lived here. Does he really believe that?
Life's laughter and love will guide you home. Saga and her daughter. Oh boy. Happy faces raise property value. Family comes first, Ilma. We take care of her trailer while she's gone. She's one of us, Yakko. Her spare key is safe and sound.
The Koskela brothers have happy memories of me.
I like how they did that.
This must...
Say again?
I said I like how they did that.
Yeah, the transition.
Yeah.
be the story affecting them. I'll play along for now. I need the key to that trailer. All joking aside, yes, I would like to see my trailer. Do you have a spare set of keys?
Good for you.
I will say this about the, because I think this is a side mission, or it could be a part of the main narrative, but either way, there is one big thing that bothers me about this game as far as the information that they've revealed of it. And I'm going to talk more about that towards the end, but if they do have side missions like this in the, you know, because that's what it looks like, in order for it to be fun, they would have to make it short. Like, they can't have side missions that are like 20 to 30 minutes long in this.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna completely kill the pacing of the game if they do that. So, you know, hopefully they take more after like the Resident Evil 4 remake, for example, because you had like side activities and side quests in the Resident Evil 4 remake, but you could complete them within a short period of time, you know, a quick period of time. So hopefully that's the direction they went.
Yeah, I have a spare set. They're just over at Coffee World. I'd get them for you, but Yaku and I have to head to Bright Falls. The spare keys are in the gift shop safe. I'll call ahead and have someone get them out for you. Oh, the road's flooded, but if you just follow this trail behind me, it'll lead you there.
Call the gift shop so they can give Saga a hand.
Yep.
Fuck! FBI, show yourself!
How do you feel about the voice actor?
She sounds way too young.
Yeah, it sounds off.
Yeah, she sounds way too young.
And normally I wouldn't say anything about voice acting, but in this case, it just sounds like it doesn't really match the character.
It's kind of one of the things I was talking about too. When it goes back to it, kind of sounded cheap.
Yeah.
It sounds like one of those indie game devs trying to make something like that.
But
that's what I was thinking of.
This isn't an indie dev though. This is Remedy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why does it sound like a small studio trying to make this? That's what my idea was going to.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on there. Clearly, they're taking inspiration from the Resident Evil remakes with the tight over the shoulder perspective. You know, that was a wise choice if you're gonna do like a survival horror game. You know, you take cues from the best, obviously.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, now this looks different.
I don't know how I feel about that dodge mechanic. It looks a bit off to me. Like if I go back.
You think so? I don't know.
Yeah, it looks a little funny. That entire animation looks a little strange to me.
More people turning into Taken. Is this the cult?
Now I'm wondering, does precision actually matter in this game? Like, do you deal more damage if you hit an enemy in the head, like if you go for headshots or you target one of their limbs? Is that's why Dead Space and Resident Evil work, is because, you know, targeting the limbs does matter. That's where the strategy of the gameplay comes in. I'm not sure if that's a thing in this game or not. If it is, great. If it's not, that's likely going to be a problem.
Or the story. Or both. Hello? Anyone here? Nope. Did they get out? Did the Taken get them? Or were they turned into Taken? I'll need to get the key to the trailer park myself. Ilmo said the key is kept in the gift shop safe.
I really do like the atmosphere of the game.
Yeah, the atmosphere is great. I'm not sure about this narration though. This thinking to myself thing that they're doing.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that.
That seems a bit silly to me. Because she's not talking to herself, she's thinking to herself, but it's like why do I need to hear what she's thinking?
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know, that's just weird that they did that.
Locked. Needs something to jimmy it open with.
And it's like she's telling the player like obvious things. It's like, okay, the door's locked. That means you need to find, do I really need to hear her say, oh, I need something to get it open? Like, are they using that to try and like guide the casual players through the game, or like because that it sounds like that's what they're trying to do, but I'm not sure.
Most likely, probably.
A list of maintenance work. A screwdriver. Huh.
They're doing it for every little thing too.
Yeah, it's like it's consistent. I'm like it's constant in your face. I'm like that's so weird. That's so strange.
Coffee World. The most caffeinated place on Earth. And yet nobody's here to help me get that key.
I don't know how I feel about this part.
Well, this is what I was telling you about earlier. This is the mechanic where you have to piece together evidence to.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about doing this. Maybe if I was playing it, I could see, but I don't know about this one.
It seems tedious. Like it seems like it's just something that would slow the pacing of the game down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see a number of players getting frustrated with this because it doesn't look like it's really robust in the way it's been designed. So, but then again, how can you design something like this and make it interesting from the gameplay perspective?
Using screwdrivers to break into gift shops isn't exactly standard procedure.
Oh, I was trying to find the icon that shows you how many bullets you have left because I couldn't see it, and I just realized that IGN's logo is covering it up. Way to go, IGN! Fantastic.
Yeah, man, I don't know if there is.
As far as what?
How you talking about earlier, kind of like when the combat system with Dead Space and whatnot,
Targeting
hitting certain
limbs.
body parts affect. Yeah, I don't know if there is from watching that. Maybe, but I don't know.
It could just be the way the person's playing, because I think an IGN journalist is playing this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure. If targeting limbs isn't a thing in this game, you know, that's gonna fucking hurt it.
Hey, this should get that gift shop open.
I think targeting the head does matter, but I'm not sure about any other part on the body.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm not sure how I feel about enemies teleporting all over the place. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Seems kind of silly.
Yeah.
Now where is that safe?
Okay, so yep, that's the footage. I'll let you go first on this.
Okay. I guess to start with the good, I do like the atmosphere in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really well done. I never played the first Alan Wake, but from all the previews of the game I saw at first, the atmosphere was really good in that one too. It definitely kind of spooked me out a bit. Combat, I do like how the guns have a punch to them. I'm not sure how much enemy variety was in the first game, so I'm not sure what to expect from this. It kind of seems like they all have the same move set, so we'll have to see more once this game releases. I'm not a big fan of this section right here too, when she goes into her mind, kind of like it's her own pause screen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really like I don't think I would actually personally be a fan of the detective work.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, I don't know. I don't know how I'm really feeling about this. It could be good, could be bad. I'm not even really a fan of the main character so far, too. She just from her voice alone, she just sounds too young, and it kind of throws me out of the world itself. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not really feeling too good on this one. I'll let you go.
Yeah. So I'm feeling pretty similar, and this is actually like one of the games I was looking forward to the most this year. But after sitting through this gameplay, I'm not sure. Because I will say this: they like you said, the atmosphere and just the setting and everything, and the colors and everything. They really nailed the horror vibe down to the most acute detail. They really did a good job with that. Gameplay wise is really where it's starting to, that's where I start to divulge, because that's where I start to divert. I don't know exactly how I feel about some of the things that they've introduced, like this dialogue shit that they have in here. Because the main thing about a survival horror game is that it has to be replayable,
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing with Capcom games in general, but especially the Resident Evil series, is that the reason those games work from a gameplay perspective is because they're replayable. You can go back and replay them, and you can carry over all your items, go back through the game again, unlock new weapons, new items, upgrades, whatever. And that's what makes those games fun, is because they're already strong to begin with, but then you can go back through them. But if you do something like this, then all it does is it slows down the pacing. And that's another problem with this this investigative space in her mind. That's another problem there, where it's like, all this does is slow the game's pacing down, and then the actual gameplay of putting the clues together, I don't really think that was necessary. I mean, I like the concept of it, but is it really fun to play?
Right.
Or did they just throw it in there and as an example of throwing something at a wall to see what sticks? So yeah, I don't know how I feel about those particular parts. I think that's going to be the weak part of the gameplay right there. And then the combat system, I don't know. I'm not really feeling the combat either, mainly because of the enemies. Like, all this teleporting around and shit just seems really strange, and I'm not sure if targeting limbs is actually important in this game or not. Because if it's not, and you can just shoot anywhere, then, the player doesn't really have to, utilize strategy, and that kills a survival horror game,
Yep.
And they made it very clear, this is a survival horror game. And you can tell from the gameplay that's exactly what it is. So, yeah, I have very mixed feelings about this after seeing gameplay footage. Now, I am going to play it. I am gonna, I do plan on covering this game, but right now I don't know how I feel about it after seeing this. One thing I was saying before is that you do have people that were clicking on the some of the new footage, and they were saying things like, "Where is Alan at? Why is she the only playable character?" And I was like,
gonna ask
"Are you people serious?" They literally said that he's in the game. They showed him in some of the earlier trailers. Like I think he was in the earliest debut trailer, and he's on the cover art for the game. So
Yeah, because I remember seeing I think a preview before, and I heard people saying that.
That's so strange. All it takes is like a simple Google search, and it'll tell you there's 2 playable characters in this game. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, some people were like posting like stupid shit in the comments, and not like doing their own like research on the game. Which isn't really,
I see that a lot.
Yeah, it's not even really research. It's just like, again, it's just a simple search on your, whatever search engine you use. So.
Right, and I see that a lot. Like, they'll blatantly say stuff, but people just won't read up on it or follow through just to check on something so simple. I see that a lot with games, or anything in general.
But in this case, it was so stupid. It's like, you don't even have to search it online. You can just go on. You can click on one of the earlier trailers, and you can see him in the, in action in the game, like a quick snippet. And it's like, oh, there's Alan, just insane. But I did mention earlier that there is a big concern that I have with this game, especially with regards to it being a survival horror game. One of the developers came out and said that this is supposed to be like 20 hours long, and that is way too long for a survival horror game. That a 20-hour game, a 20-hour experience, that kills a survival horror game. Take a look at what happened with Resident Evil 6 and Alien Isolation. A big part of the reason why those games failed is because of the length. They were too long. Yeah, this game could run into the same issue. Now, I know there's 2 playable characters, but that might not make up, that might not, validate the game being 20 hours long. So,
Right.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it makes me wonder if it's being brought down by that investigative section we were looking at before.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's really extending the length a lot.
I don't think it is. I think they just made a long ass game and for whatever reason and said, yeah, this is what we're doing, and it's gonna be a survival horror game. You're gonna have 2 playable characters. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I think you guys may have.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag. I think they may have went too far in some areas because this right here, I think this just helps to slow down the game's pacing, if anything. I don't think it's the sole reason for it though. For the length being as long as it is, if what the developer said was true, because a lot of producers and whatnot will go in interviews and they'll blatantly lie about the product. Hopefully the guy was just playing and maybe it was April Fool's Day or something when he said that. So yeah, we'll see, but yeah, my expectations kind of dropped.
Yeah, I think, let alone with the main character too, I think a lot of the fans of the original probably won't like it. I don't know.
I think something that's really going to kill this game is if she is actually the main character and then Alan is barely in the game. Because game developers have done shit like that before. Like when Halo 5 came out, and there were 2. They were saying, oh, there's 2 playable characters, and then Locke turned out to be the main character, and then Master Chief was barely in the game. And people hated that bullshit. They could make the same mistake here. So there needs to be an equal amount. Like maybe you play as Saga one chapter, and then the next chapter you play as Alan. But if they have it set up to where, like in The Last of Us Part 2, you play as the character you actually want to play as, like you play as Ellie throughout half the game, and then they force you to play as fucking Abby throughout the second half. If they flip that and maybe you play as Saga the first half and then Alan you play as him the second half, I think that's people are gonna that's gonna turn a lot of people off if they do that. And I don't know which direction it's gonna go. I have no idea. But yeah, there were quite a few red flags in this. Taking a look at this footage, so yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how it goes. Any final thoughts on Alan Wake 2?
Yeah, I'll just be honest. I expect this probably get mid reviews when it comes out. Could be wrong, but from what we were seeing, I don't have high hopes for it. But that's all I really got to say.
Well, another thing is this is the first game. I don't know who published the first game, but the company that's publishing this one is Epic Games. The game wouldn't have been made without Epic Games, so that's why on PC the game is it's an Epic Games Store exclusive. It's not going to be released on Steam probably ever. So
damn,
that could explain some of the weird directions that this game is going in compared to the first. But I hope it turns out good. I hope it turns out good. I don't want it to fail. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I think this comes out October the 27th next month. So we'll see what the final result is soon.